What's up, guys? James Carter TV, and I thought we'd take a little break from the NFL news and I'd give you an NBA video. Let's talk about the NBA coaching hires that have came down over the past about 48 to 72 hours. Let's start with the Washington Wizards, who have decided to hire Scott Brooks. That is right, the former head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Scott Brooks, as their new head coach. They fired Randy Whitman, their former head coach, back in, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, actually. And I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Go back to my NBA predictions video. Heading into this season, I had the Washington Wizards going 40-42 and Randy Whitman being fired. I even talked about in that video how I thought Randy Whitman would be fired and the Wizards would not make the playoffs, mainly because Bradley Beal can never stay healthy, and also because Randy Whitman isn't a very good coach. And there's been some problems in that locker room. He hasn't been very good maintaining the relationships in that locker room in terms of his coach to player relationships. The writing was on the wall. I don't know why more people didn't see this coming, but it happened, and now the Wizards have hired Scott Brooks. Now you have to wonder how much of this hiring has to do with the potential of Kevin Durant coming to the Washington Wizards. They're going to flirt with him over the summer. I am of the belief, and you're going to hear me say this multiple times over the upcoming months, that Kevin Durant is out of OKC. I don't know where he's going. I think someone's going to come up and get him that we're not expecting, like the Los Angeles Clippers. I think is a possibility. The Houston Rockets, the Miami Heat. I think it's someone that we're not looking at. I'm a Laker fan. I wish it was the Lakers, but I don't see it unless maybe he and DeMar DeRozan can both say, hey, let's go there together, and maybe Kevin Durant thinks that's good enough. But I'm of the belief that Kevin Durant is leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I'm not quite sure how much the Washington Wizards have to do with that, or if they're even going to be able to attract him. I don't think that this coaching hire is going to attract Kevin Durant. I'm sure Kevin Durant likes Scott Brooks, but Kevin Durant is making this decision mainly because he's sick and tired of OKC. I am of the belief. I think he doesn't hate Russell Westbrook. I mean, they're friends, they get along, but he's frustrated at times when playing on the basketball court with Russell Westbrook. I think he wants to win a championship. I think that's very important to him. I'm not sure how important it is to him going home. I don't think the Wizards have much of a chance here. But if they want to get Scott Brooks, that's fine, because ultimately he's a good coach. I mean, when you bring the Oklahoma City Thunder / Supersonic franchise to where they were, to being in the 2012 NBA Finals, losing James Harden, keeping them where they were. The Thunder aren't that much better now, or I wouldn't even argue aren't better now without him than they were with him. That's indicative of Scott Brooks being a good head coach. So I'm interested to see what they can do, or what he can do in Washington with the Wizards. Biggest problem with the Wizards right now, to me, I talked about Randy Whitman. Bradley Beal, again, cannot stay healthy, and even when he is healthy, the problem with Bradley Beal, and there's a lot of these players in the NBA, he's just a point scorer, and that's it. He doesn't offer you many rebounds, doesn't offer you many assists, doesn't offer you much defense, and it's hard to get a lot of efficiency, a lot of value out of those type of players. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I mean, he's definitely a starter. But I think if Bradley Beal's your second best player, you're not going to be winning anything anytime soon. You have to get a better second best player. He should be your third best player, preferably your fourth best player, maybe even a really good sixth man to come off the bench. I mean, he's a really good point scorer. Yes, he is. But what else is he? That's it. And there's a lot of these guys in the NBA that they like to fill up the point stat sheet, but they don't have any other value. And even as a shooting guard, you need this value. That's why Kobe Bryant was such a good shooting guard. This guy had 25 points per game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds per night. There's much value beyond the points. More of these guys need to have this philosophy. Moving on. Now to the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a hire that I question a little bit. They hired Tom Thibodeau, the former head coach of the Chicago Bulls. Now, Tom Thibodeau, I think he's a good head coach to a certain extent, but man, this guy runs your players to death. I am of the belief that he single-handedly killed the Chicago Bulls. I mean, I think he ran Derrick Rose to death. I think when you keep running and running your players, playing them 48 minutes, 48 minutes, 48 minutes, 54 minutes because they went to overtime, 48 minutes. I think he killed Derrick Rose's legs. I think he killed Luol Deng's legs. Luol Deng hasn't been the same. Joakim Noah is not the same player he was when he first came in the league. Jimmy Butler's lucky that he was only with Tom Thibodeau for maybe 2 years, so he was spared. Nate Robinson absolutely fell off the wagon. Rip Hamilton couldn't survive. I mean, the list goes on and on. These people, Taj Gibson, all of these Bulls, they've just been run out of, just run down, run hard, and they're not even near the players that they were before. And they're not young. They're not old. Excuse me. Luol Deng, you can blame some of that on him getting older, but Joakim Noah is still young. Derrick Rose is still young. Nate Robinson he should be better than he is now. But man, Tom Thibodeau just runs guys to death. I'm sure the Timberwolves will be in the playoffs because Tom Thibodeau can get you to the playoffs. He's going to play your best players the most he can, and that does get a lot of value. Think about it. When you have your best players out on the court more of the time, then more of the time you're going to be better than the other team, because when the other team inevitably puts in their bench players, then you are going to be better than them at that moment, and that can win you games. But over the long term, man, that runs you down. Now, luckily, again, the Timberwolves are a very young team, so maybe they can withstand it. Maybe Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns and Gorgie Deng and Ricky Rubio, they're going to love this play style. But, man, he runs players down. My goodness. Now, looking at the Timberwolves team, what I think their big problems are, Andrew Wiggins is the second best player on this basketball team. Without a doubt, Karl-Anthony Towns is the best player on this basketball team. It's not even close. The things that he offers, the value, the efficiency that he offers outside of just scoring points, which he's really good at, by the way. He's shooting 54% from field goal. This guy giving you rebounds, blocks, steals even, filling up the stat sheet night to night as a rookie. He had a way better rookie season than Anthony Davis had with the New Orleans Pelicans. So if he can follow that sort of growth and production, what is he going to do? Remember, this is a guy, Karl-Anthony Towns, that was playing in the Dominican Republic only 3 years ago, and now he's going to the NBA. He had a really good rookie season. When playing for Kentucky last season, this guy only played the tail end of his season, of the 2014 Kentucky season. He was brought along slowly. His highest scoring game was 25 points against Notre Dame, and I believe the Final Four, or whatever it was, Final Eight, the Elite Eight. This is a guy that still has tremendous potential and upside with him. Man, this guy's going to be good. And Andrew Wiggins, I have a big problem with him, just like I talked about Bradley Beal. Although Andrew Wiggins is a good defender for the most part. He can still improve. But Andrew Wiggins, you got to do more than score points offensively. Where are the rebounds? Dude, you're 6'8". I know you played the shooting guard position, but if Kobe Bryant, throughout most of his career, can average more than 6.5 rebounds, why are you averaging what? 2? He's averaging 3.6 rebounds this season, down from 4.6 rebounds last season. You're going to say, James, who cares about rebounds? He's a shooting guard. Trust me, value can be had in doing more than just scoring points. Assists, he doesn't pass the ball well. He doesn't see the field well. Only 2 assists per game. Again, a shooting guard, yes, but Kobe Bryant, who I keep going back to, why? Because he's the pinnacle. When you think of a shooting guard and who you should be, you should think of Kobe Bryant. Even James Harden, who people say, these guys don't pass. James Harden doesn't pass. Kobe Bryant doesn't pass. Hello? These people have 6 assists per game. Andrew Wiggins is sitting here with 2. So if these men don't pass, what is Andrew Wiggins doing? It's not like he doesn't have the ball, because obviously he has ball enough to shoot 22 or 20 points per game, 20.7 points per game he's averaging, shooting only 46%. So the ball is in his hands. What is he doing when the ball gets in his hands? He's shooting. He's not passing it. He's not seeing the court well. He's not being an efficient player, making his team an efficient team, a better team, a winning team. And that's the problem with Andrew Wiggins right now. He's still a good player. He still can improve. But I need to see this more from him. I expect more defensively. I mean, he's only averaging zero point 0.6 steals, zero point 0.6 blocks, 1 steal per game. I expect more from Andrew Wiggins here. Good thing is he's keeping his turnovers low, only 2.2 turnovers per game. That's good. 3-point percentage still needs work. Only 30% 3-point percentage, and he's taking 2.3 per game. Either don't take him or you better make him. That's the policy. And Zach LaVine, again, what are you doing besides just scoring points? You need to do more than just scoring points. Ricky Rubio, I really like his assists, but man, when is this guy finally going to become, unlike his friends here, when is he gonna start scoring points? I remember he had 28 points against the Lakers on opening night and hasn't done anything since then. Scoring now only like 23 and then maybe 20, and then you see a bunch of 5, 7s, 2s, 3s, 5, 7s, 4, 10. I mean, Ricky Rubio, you have to possess more than just a passing ability, unless if these guys can really catch on. But and then Gorgie Dang. I mean, I think some improvements need to be made here, but they're young. They can improve. The biggest one, Karl Anthony Towns. This guy is legit, and I have no problems with this game. Only thing I have to do is sit back and just watch as he grows, as he becomes a great, great, great NBA player, because that's where he's headed. Hell, you can make an argument right now that he's the best center in the NBA, and I would make that argument right now. The only one that could be better than him right now, I'll wait. He makes free throws. Andre Drummond doesn't make free throws. Dwight Howard has given up, it appears like, for the most part. Hassan Whiteside's very good. Is he the best center? Is he better than Karl Anthony Towns right now? I'm not sure about that. I think right now an argument can really be made that Karl Anthony Towns is the best center in the NBA. And if he's the best center in the NBA right now, then where is this guy headed? That's something you need to consider and think about. So, anyway, until next time, James Carter TV. I'm out. Peace.